What is up? What is good? It is me, your boy, coming back at you again. Because of Danmachi Memorial Freeze! The 5th anniversary do be giving me that Danmachi content I have been so desperately craving. So let's just hop straight into it. As this is the second part of the anniversary, I don't think a spoiler warning is needed because if you haven't read the first part, why the fuck did you click on the second part? This takes place directly after the last scene of the first part, with Finn being given the Knights of Fianna title by King Cormac, which is pretty cool. So, I won't say nobody recognizes him there, but Cormac, Grania, the advisor, they don't recognize him, but Goal and Lazar obviously do, as well as Felice, but she isn't at this award ceremony. And so, after the 10 years that Finn has been missing, or training, him and Lazar get to catch up a little bit, and we get some nice fun times before obviously we get to the good stuff at the end of the part. I have to say, personally, I didn't like this part as much as the first part, but was short and sweet and to the point. So, Lazar, Finn and Felice obviously catch up, you know, Finn gets to kind of learn that they're not responsible for what's going on, but that's okay. And, much like in the first part, the Knights of Fianna get into a fight with the Knights of Gold, and obviously, this is how Finn and Lazar kind of get a chance to meet up and talk. It's pretty interesting, pretty standard enough callback, nothing too major. But the Knights of Fianna are given 2 different missions. Well, really one mission, and then they join a second one in this part. So their mission is to go off and kill a monster that's been holding up the allied forces of Lucrius. And when we get there, we get to see our boys Galamis and Yori from the Argonauts event. So it's pretty cool seeing these characters back again. Obviously these 2 characters are Bates and Garrett's ancestors. So them getting to meet up with Finn is a pretty cool event. You know, we get to see them chilling with Finn. Also, Galamis and Finn have a little bit of a fight, which earns Finn Galamis's respect. And so Finn is allowed to 1v1 this monster that can put everyone to sleep. And before we get into any of that, this monster design finna make me act up, but we're gonna move straight past that. So obviously Finn wins this fight, never in doubt that he was going to catch that fat W. And so they return to the capital to be awarded official knight status, as well as the Knights of Fianna join with the Knights of Gold to go deal with some bandits. And while there, they discover that the same Black Knights that killed the Knights of Fianna were trying to get rid of some of the Knights of Gold. But thanks to the Knights of Fianna being there, they managed to defeat all of them without suffering any casualties. And while they're in this forest, Felice gives Lazar an ancient sword that belonged to her parents. But by doing this, she reveals to Finn her true identity as the rightful heir to the throne of Cormac Kingdom, which is a pretty interesting reveal. And leads to one of the most messed up parts of this entire part, which is Felice's fate. So after this, Finn gets all the information he needs from Felice, because Felice has a map of the area. And with this information, he plots to get his revenge on Grania and Cormac. And so he does this by giving Cormac a letter telling him that his wife is an imposter who's been sus. I'm sorry for that Among Us joke, but using this, he gets him alone and manages to kill him. Which, Cormac was never that much of a, good fighter from what we've seen. And afterwards, he goes after Grania. And obviously, Grania is not going to be able to beat Finn either, because Finn's a beast. However, during this fight, he takes his time with her. He doesn't just kill her instantly. He takes his time with her, gives her back her severed finger, kind of messed up. And before she is killed, she swears to hunt him down in the next life. And Finn tells her that his hounds will devour her before she gets the chance. Which, considering that she is the ancestor of one Valletta, and having read the light novels, the Sordatorial light novels, we know that she does end up dying at the hands of our boy Bait. So you know, that's just more a little bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, letting you know that, you know, it's somewhat spiritually relevant to the modern story of the modern story of Danmachi. But we also know, if you've played a Stray Record or, you know, read volumes 7 and 8 of the Sword Tutorial light novel, that Valletta does in fact cause a lot of trouble for Finn in the future. So, you know, it's pretty interesting to get like a spiritual first battle between the two. And so, to wrap up this part, Finn forces Phyllis to reveal her true identity to the kingdom so that it would not just simply collapse. This, however, forces her to be separate from Lazar, who she truly is in love with and does not want to be separate from. However, Finn, gatekeep, gaslights, goalbosses her into the role of queen because he rightfully says that if she simply became queen and married Lazar, then everyone would assume Lazar was the reason for the death of the former king and queen. So yeah, Finn pretty effortlessly got his revenge, which isn't surprising. I mean, it's a bit disappointing, but it's not surprising because the main point of 5th anniversary is telling the story of how Orario was founded, or at least the road to Orario was founded, which is what the third part of the anniversary is going to be about. Now, at the time of recording this video, I actually have read the beginning of the third part, and it's looking kind of nice. I've seen a few spoilers for the third part, which personally I don't care about seeing the spoilers, but they're kind of hype. So I am probably going to finish that part and release it really quickly after this video, if it's as good as what I've heard it is. But the second part of this anniversary, I think it's going to tell a better story when it's all in context, like the first, second, and third part. I really do like this anniversary so far. It's pretty incredible. I'm a bit disappointed with the second part, not just on the story front, but also on like the unit front, because we only got 3 new units for this part, whereas normally you get 6 new units every part of an anniversary. Like if you look at 4th and 3rd anniversary, and even 2nd anniversary, the second part had 4 units, which, you know, it's a bit disappointing, but what can you do? So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna call it there, and I'm gonna go and enjoy the third part, and I'm gonna see y'all later.